Welcome to the Marshmallow Shack with
Marsha,
uh, welcome to In the Library with
Marsha.
and Adrian. And today we have with us special guest.
Jennifer,
Welcome,
Welcome.
Jennifer.
Thanks for joining us today.
thanks for having me.
Do you want to do a little introduction of yourself and what you do here at the library?
Yes, I am a reference librarian over at the Bedford Branch. So I'm taking the reference calls and answering the questions, and I also do a little bit of teen and adult programming.
Wearing many hats at the library. You're going to find out on here that Adrian asks the really deep questions. So he usually has some really good questions to go. So I don't know if you're ready for those, but Adrian, take it away.
I'm going to preface this by letting all of our listeners know that Jen is my boss. So
You better be on your best behavior.
Yep.
He's not
We're
on
going
his
to
best behavior any other time.
That's true. Why should today be any different?
Do you think bald people working at restaurants still need to wear hairnets?
No, but they're probably legally required, but I don't think they should have to.
If they have a goatee, they probably have to wear it on their face instead. Oh, Adrian, the questions you ponder.
How would you describe something indescribable?
Well, that's a mean question. I would say it is without words.
Very eloquent.
Do you have any special programs coming up, Jen, that you'd like to tell our listeners about?
Yeah, I have a few things coming up at Bedford. So on Saturday, February 10th, I don't know if everyone's aware, it's going to be Lunar New Year. We're going to be starting the Year of the Dragon. So I will be in the lobby of the Bedford Branch from 10 to 2, and we'll be doing some crafts, and we'll have some treats and games and stuff for anyone who wants to stop by anytime between then.
Awesome. Do you
And
have
then
do you have flyers on that?
I do not have flyers yet, but I will quite soon.
Yoo-hoo, already. Next.
So my other big thing isn't until March, but I'll give you a heads up. So I don't know if people are aware that March 10th is officially Mario Day, because if you write MAR10, it looks like the word Mario.
Oh, I like it.
So we are having a big Mario themed party at the Bedford Library on Sunday, March 10th, and it'll start at 2:00, and you should be able to register on our calendar.
I've never heard of that. That's like the new May the 4th, March 10th.
Yes.
I like it.
Mario has his own day.
I'm learning new stuff every day. I just learned about CAP. I didn't know about CAP till, yesterday. What else? What else do you have going on over there?
In March, we also have what's called the One Book, One Community program. So that's actually going to be countywide, but I am on that committee. So I wanted people to start keeping in mind that our book this year is called Firekeeper's Daughter. This book is written by a Michigander who is actually part of the Native tribes up north. It's a great YA novel, but it appeals to all ages. So I would start trying to get a copy and read that book now before all of our events start in March, because the author will be coming to present at the community college on March 19th.
Oh, how wonderful and fun. And they made that into a movie too. Is that a movie?
It's being made into a movie. It has
okay.
not been released or anything yet. And she also has a sequel book. If you've already read the first one, you can go check out the sequel.
All righty, that's great. So watch for that. And I know a lot of different book clubs and other branches are doing programs to tie into One Book, One Community. You can go to mymcls.com. You can check out where all of this stuff is going down in coordination with the One Book, One Community events.
And One Book, One Community has its own page. If you just search One Book, One Community of Monroe, we have our own website, and we also have a Facebook page if you would like to follow us, and we'll be posting all events and information there as well.
At all of the locations. Are you guys doing trivia night this year? Guest or celebrity trivia night?
So we are not doing trivia night before March like we did last year. We're going to do it in the fall instead as a fundraiser, so it's not right on top of all of our other events.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea. I thought did you do that on President's Day or something?
Yeah, last year we did it on President's Day, and this year I think we're aiming for like September, October instead.
That's kind of a good idea instead of, like you said, rushed all together.
Because we have our big opening program in February. I think we have like 15 programs going on in February that I know of. We're going to have a speaker from the FBI come to talk about how you can join the FBI.
That's cool.
We are going to have a Native American genealogist come. So we're going to have things like basically every other day for the whole month of March. So make sure you look for that big printed calendar that will be out at all the libraries probably in February, or you can check the One Book, One Community website or Facebook page.
Awesome. I know this isn't affiliated with one book, but that just reminded me that we're picking back up for February with the blues, the blues series and the Blues Day Tuesdays, and you can watch for that as well on our website. So don't forget, there's just so much going on at the library every day and every branch. Definitely check it out. Adrian, got a hard-hitting question for Jen?
Why do you think bologna is round when bread is square?
I assume it's probably easier to cut the bologna into circles than squares, but I've never been to a bologna factory to see exactly how.
You don't want to go. They're circular because it comes out of tubes. I'm just telling you, if you are a fan of eating bologna, you do not go and visit a bologna.
I'm not really a huge bologna fan. It's like a once a year thing. I'm not a diehard bologna person.
Well,
I assume it's a lot like hot dogs. Like I don't want to
Yep.
know what's in them or how they get to my house.
Yep, it's better to not know. Ignorance is bliss in this case. Oh, Adrian, any other questions that won't get you fired?
If you were to become president of the United States, what would be the first law you would pass?
The first law I would pass would be obviously automatic funding for all libraries in the country to make sure that they cannot lose their funding.
I like it.
Federally funded libraries. That would be my first thing.
That's perfect.
Okay. On that same sort of thing, you somehow find yourself in a position that the world is counting on you to rename Canada. What do you rename Canada?
A, because that's what they like to say.
Or like, hey, we're up here, eh? That's funny. I like it. Hey, that's a good one. Hey, what do you call a pile of cats?
I don't know, a hairball?
Oh, that's a good guess. Adrian, any guesses? Pile of cats.
I love cats. A nightmare.
It's a meowton. You're welcome. Tell your friends.
Where'd you find that joke, Marsha?
I was just looking up some that I was using the other day and I thought, oh, it was just basically bad dad jokes. So you're welcome. I'm not even a dad, but I like bad dad jokes.
Do you want to share with our listeners what it's like being my boss?
Yeah.
Or would we have to censor that?
Spill the tea. Adrian's the editor anyway. You know he's just going to say that he's awesome.
He is awesome. He
Oh.
does a great many things. Does he drive me bonkers sometimes? Absolutely. In case the listeners did not know, Adrian is a little bit of a prankster. And by a little bit, I mean like every 10, 15 minutes. He has his moments, but overall we like him and we're probably going to keep him.
Yeah, he likes to mess with me technologically, like take a screenshot and, you know, make it expand on the whole screen. So I think my computer's frozen and he's just been messing with me there, or, you know, flip it upside down where I don't really know what I'm doing. So he's pulled many a pranks on me.
Yeah, I don't know that he can go a whole day without playing a prank. We might have to, you know, challenge him to do that one day and see if he could go 24 hours.
That sounds like a boring day though. I feel like it's it keeps everyone on their toes. Adrian,
I feel like it'd be interesting to watch him struggle for a day.
I like that. I concur. He does a lot of things over there and he is definitely an asset to the Monroe County Library system. So
yes, he is very good on the reference desk. He's very good with technology, thankfully, and having patience with all the people with their technology related questions.
There we go, Adrian. You live to work another day at the library. You haven't lost your job yet.
Would you rather have an ostrich or a kangaroo as your roommate?
Have I raised them since birth, or did I just acquire them and they're grown up?
They're just going to appear and you have to choose one.
Probably an ostrich, because I feel like the kangaroo would kick me so hard I would die. Also, I feel like the kangaroo would take up more space.
Those are good. You have really well thought. I mean, I always like to remind our listeners that our guests had absolutely no prior knowledge to these questions, and you answered that like you've given this some thought before.
Although I have to say, I think I'd prefer neither. Generally, anything in Australia, I don't want in my room. If it lives in Australia or, you know, any place like that, I don't want it in my house because all their things are mean.
This may be a difficult question. What is your favorite Taylor Swift song?
Oh, that's impossible.
He
I
knows
really
this
like
guest well.
Exile. I guess I'll go with that. I'll go with Exile for right now, but it really depends on the day and what mood I'm in.
Or if you're at her concert and what she's singing in the moment. I feel like that's he definitely knows his audience here. That's a good question for you.
I know, it's like picking your children, man.
How many times have you seen her in concert?
Only twice in concert, unfortunately, but hopefully more.
2 so far.
Yes, 2 so far. Had to wait until I had grown-up money and could afford to go to a Taylor Swift
Yeah.
concert
Yeah, really.
because those are not $5 seats.
Just pick out a small loan for those. But speaking of music, Adrian, I was going to ask you, I think this is you. You're doing the teen open mic night on Friday, March 1st.
No,
That is-
that's not me.
Oh,
That's Jessica.
oh, I was thinking that was you. I'm sorry. You're maybe doing that movie night. I was just flipping through the flyers to see what else you guys had going on. Well, that sounds fun. So an open mic night on Friday, March 1st at the Bedford Branch.
Yep, Jessica's running that. She's got a lot of good things going. She's been working with the school kids, so she's got a lot of good teen programs going.
Yay.
So if you have anything to share, make sure you guys come out and read it for us.
Awesome. And chess club, you still doing chess club over there? How's that going?
Chess Club is from 4:30 till 8 o'clock at the Bedford Branch Library. If you like chess, come out, play a few rounds.
What day? Tuesdays?
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays from 4th. All righty. A couple things at the Ellis Library and Reference Center. We have the ongoing crochet clubs. They're meeting multiple times here. That is super, that has taken off, and it is a great group and it's growing. On Thursday, February 8th at 7 p.m. is going to be the 10 More True Tales with a Twist. Put on your thinking caps for this 4th part of a quiz type presentation from the Ann Arbor Civil War Roundtable. So that is Thursday, February 8th at 7 p.m. Also, Puzzle in a Day on Wednesday, February 14th. Come on upstairs at the Ellis Library and Reference Center and put a puzzle together. And book clubs, I always talk about how many book clubs we have. I feel like I was at a board meeting the other night and they were saying that we have our 40th, I think, or we have 40 book clubs around the Monroe County Library System. So there is a book club for you. If you like cooking or murder or teen stuff or nonfiction, we have a book club for you. I love a mystery book club. That's very murdery. We have a lot of murdery discussions. In fact, that one meets on Wednesday, the second Wednesday of the month at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. here at the Ellis Library and Reference Center. And we have a huge group with lively discussions. And we have a lot of, why would she do that going on? So, I mean, if you like to pick apart, if you like to pick apart a mystery, come on over and join us.
A question for both of you.
Okay.
If it's a penny for your thought, but you're putting your 2 cents in, where does the extra penny go?
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Maybe I'm giving you 2 thoughts.
There you go. I guess you're right. I think you're exactly right. If you're saying penny for your thoughts, you're only asking for a small part. But when I'm giving you my 2 cents, I'm giving you more than you're asking for.
Yeah.
That makes up the difference.
Well, you shouldn't ask me questions. I'm going to go on longer than you want me to.
He knows what he's getting. He knows what he's signed up for. Anything else? Jen, what is your favorite thing about working at the Monroe County Library System?
My favorite thing is that I get to do different stuff every day. So like, I don't feel like I go to work and one day is the same as the next. There's always different questions. There's always different people. One day I'm doing programming for like genealogy club, which is an older set of people. And the next day I'm hanging out with 12-year-olds. So I like that it's always different.
I love that too. I think that's kind of the general consensus of anyone who works here. A lot of them say that they love that every day is different. So I do think you can't really know what to expect when you show up to work that day. And then, other duties is assigned, or, today I battled the laminator. I mean, who even thinks that that's how, your day is going to go? And because this is a library podcast, do you want to share what you're reading now, Jen?
So I just started reading Shark Heart.
Was that on
Very
Adrian's
weird.
recommendation?
No, did
Oh.
Adrian read it?
Yes, I have.
Oh,
We've actually talked about it on here, so that's so funny. Was it on Ashley's recommendation?
no.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's from TikTok.
well, I know other people that have read that too. What do you think of it? How do you feel about Shark Heart?
So I like it, but I don't love it. I think it's a book for a very specific audience of people.
Like Adrian.
Yes. If
Adrian,
you like weird philosophy or Kafka, this is the book for you.
Adrian, ask her some of your Shark Heart questions. You've got some questions about Shark Heart.
I don't.
Would you
No,
rather?
There's no questions about it. Shark Heart is a tragic love story. Okay.
Would you rather? Would you still love me? There's some really good questions about Shark Heart. I love that you're reading that. That's great. And then currently, do you have any book clubs going on right now, Jen?
Yes, so I do the Bedford AM Book Club. We meet the first Thursday morning of every month at 10:30. We are actually going to be discussing Firekeeper's Daughter next month
Yay,
because they
that's
always like to
topical.
get involved in One Book, One Community.
Perfect timing for that. Get all pumped up for the events coming up.
Yes, so that
I
way they'll have
actually,
read it and they can take their books and have them signed by the author.
I love it. I love it. I've had multiple phone calls up here for people asking for details about what's next, because they couldn't wait, or they went to was it a craft show? Like, I can't remember. They just call all the time about what's going on next. So I love the community's interest in this. I feel like you can go about anywhere and people have at least heard of it or know something about it.
I think the goal is to have our full calendar of events published by the end of this month.
Wonderful. Yep, that'll be wonderful. I mean, people are so anxious. It's just like tax forms. It's like tax forms, one book. People are like, what's going on? I need to know now.
One book is way more exciting than tax forms,
That's
though.
true. It is true. And the people are more excited and, friendlier.
Yes. I hope that everyone enjoys it and we will get a good turnout for the author. I've heard she is an amazing speaker.
That's wonderful. And is there anything else that you'd like to share with our listeners, or there's anything you'd like them to know about?
Just make sure you're always checking the calendar for events. And I know I said One Book, One Community is really big in March, but right after that, I roll right into Poetry Month in April. So keep in mind, we'll be having our annual poetry competition. So maybe now, while you're snowed in, is a good time to start writing your poetry.
That's a great tip too. And I know we also have a lot of birthday and anniversary celebrations going on this year within the library system, and watch for those. I just feel like there's always something fun. I always say this, we have something for everyone every day. Like, if you're willing to travel to a different branch, I really can't emphasize that enough, to get on there and check out what we have going on. Adrian, do you have any last burning questions for our special guest today, otherwise known as your boss?
Nope, I'm good.
Because you're afraid you might lose your job, or what?
Every day I'm afraid I'm going to lose my job.
Well, Jen, you could just box his stuff up and have it ready on his desk.
No, I couldn't. I've tried to fire him before. It doesn't take.
He's like a bad penny. Speaking of penny for your thoughts, it's like a bad penny, just keeps turning up.
On that note, this has been In the Library with
Marsha
and Adrian and our special guest,
Jen.
Yay! Thank you, Jen. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.